So the story starts about a quarter century ago. Sister Beatrice and Brother Seth, would you be kind to share with us what happened?
As a young couple, we are so happy together, and then God planted a seed in us, which we were so excited. And by that time, my husband was a lab technician. When we did the pregnancy test, he did it. It was positive. We were so excited. We thanked God. I remember we were in Ethiopia, and we knelt beside the bed, thanking God for giving us a seed. At that time, I was the nursing director, and so I decided to take the test myself for ECG. I just went to the technician to do the ECG for me, and he went to present the ECG to the doctor. So I told him, please, I have this documentation. I haven't been feeling well. Can you help me? So then he looked at it. He looked at it again. Then he said, is this your ECG? So I said, yes. You are not going to be committed after delivery. It's not compatible with life. So I asked him, what do you mean? What do you mean especially? So then he said, I mean, after delivery, you may die. So he just plainly told me like that. I was crushed just from there. What do you mean, doctor? So I followed him again. He said, I'm telling you, you are not going to be committed. This is incompatible with pregnancy. Wow, what a blow. What a bullet in my heart. I looked for my husband. He came home. I told him the story. I cried to him. He said, hey, where is your faith? And at that time, I examined myself. I looked at it that my faith really is so little. But still, I lost it. I lost it. I couldn't think even that time there's a God that can do all kinds of things in somebody's life. I saw myself as a casket every time. I looked at my family back at home. I'm the only educated child. And if there is help that they get is from us. And now my mother, that time we were in Ethiopia, I'm a Zambian, and my parents are in Zambia. And you think of your parents receiving a casket at the airport of a child that they love most. A child who is like, to them, is a breadwinner. A child who is like helping everything. And if there is like a child who makes a family strong, and here she is coming in a casket. I saw my parents dying too. Honestly, I reached at the point we had a very good housemaid. I reached at the point where I started thinking, when I'm going to die that day, I'm going to plead for him to marry her. I started training that housemaid to how to feed a child. I bought food. A child is not yet born. I bought food, put in a freezer, so that when I'm not there, this house girl knows what kind of food to give. They examined the baby. They examined me. They said there's fetal distress. And we cannot allow to go forward for delivery because the baby is not breathing well. And so they started preparing now for surgery, C-section. And when the surgery started, I knew I was looking at all the data to see how my life would start dropping. So when I look around, they gave me spine. I was able to see. I was able to talk. And I could move my head around. Okay, my blood pressure is like this. Okay, I'm breathing like this. Okay, this is my pulse rate. I think I still have life. And then the baby is born. I hear the baby crying. They bring the baby to my chest. I was so happy that at least I could see. I looked at my baby, so beautiful. How should I leave this precious child, precious life, and then I'm gone? There she goes all over the world by herself. I was hurt just to look that life that I'm looking at, that now I'm going to die. I think it was like 2 days in the hospital. I was discharged and I still have life. And then after a month, I got better. I went back to work. I still have life. I was like, God, how long am I going to live? And it was hunting me throughout my life that maybe I'll just drop and die. Maybe it's just a matter of time. Maybe I have no idea. But I think maybe God is giving me time. I remember praying, God, take my life away when my child knows what she's doing, when she has the right choices, that when she knows what is bad and what is good.
All we had was to actually cry to God. And that's what we did. And thank God, the mother and the baby were saved. And then came Amma, the second pregnancy.
I always wanted to be the mother. I wanted actually to have 8 children if possible. And I even told him when we got married, I want to have 8. And he said, I only want 1. Told my husband, he said, you know what? This is God's plan. He did it for us, for the first one. He is going to do it again. We need to kneel down before him. That's all we need to do. Don't think of many other things. For Amma was the worst because she had twice around the neck and then around her tummy and around the leg. And she made a true knot. And what it means, if it is a true knot, once there is traction when the baby goes down the pelvis, it ties the knot to cut off circulation between the mother and the baby. The doctor said, you know, you people, you are very prayerful. We were going to lose this baby. Almost to lose this baby. Just seconds. Now, when the third child came in, when third pregnancy, I think that time we decided not to have.
I had enough. My opposition for more children was at the highest point. From that time, Ajua will pray, dear God, bless the food. Also give us a baby brother and a boy. That was her prayer. I mean, consistently. That was Ajua's prayer. I got up one day. I looked at her. I said, I think you are pregnant. I don't know what, but I told her, I think you are pregnant.
Yeah.
Give me your urine. She gave me the urine. I went to the lab. I tested it positive. They concluded that Michael was premature. I was called to come to the hospital immediately. I rushed there, and that was my wife, ready to be taken to the operating room. I rushed home. I don't even know how I got there, because I wanted to get my camera and film the whole thing, because these were the doctors that believed that Michael was 7 months. And now it's an emergency. So I rushed home, I got my camera and recorded the whole thing. I was interested in 2 things. 1, the gender. Is he a boy or a girl? Now, before then, we wanted to make sure, because Ajua was so serious on the baby boy thing, and Ajua knows, because that's what we've been telling her, that if you cry to God, if you pray to God, God always answers prayer. So that's all she knew. So I told her, why don't we find out from Ajua? What will she do if it's another girl. So in the evening, we called Ajua and said, hey, Ajua, your mom is going to have a baby. So what will happen if it's another girl? Ajua's answer was, then leave her in the hospital.
There was a time, actually, that they also wanted to put a pacemaker because my heart rate was dropping. So they came to pick me up. And then the doctor showed up just that time and said, wait, we have to do one more test before she goes for the procedure. I went for that for that test. He came back and told me that we are not going to do that pacemaker. And I had the fear of that pacemaker because I was not ready. I could feel it myself, I was not ready for it. The toughest time, it was in 2020, right? When I went to see the doctor, he had done the test before. And so when I saw that doctor, he told me, oh, your heart is not in the right place. It's very serious. And your function right now of your heart is at 25%. My husband had to communicate with the children. We had an emergency meeting in the lofty, trying to explain the situation. You know, my heart may stop anytime. And tried to encourage the children, encouraging everybody else. Life must go on. In case I go, life must go on. There was a lot of crying, a lot of crying, a lot of crying, and a lot of prayers. Ajua, I remember she said, Mommy, you are going to take care of my children. You are going to take care of your grandchildren. You are not going to die. To see the reaction of each one of them, that broke my heart. That I was praying to God to give me more time, even though before I prayed, until the time they know what choices they could make. But now they know. They are college students. And here I am, I don't want to go. I want to... I still want to be with them. So we did the test. That was in May 2020. In May. He did the test and said, oh, it went up actually. It's now like 30%. So if we have to really check it again. If the heart rate is going to go below 30, we are going to do the defibrillator. If it's going to be above 30, then we are going to stop it. We prayed about it, and I was afraid about it. So then we went to see the doctor. When the appointment came again, he said, I think we are going to schedule the defibrillator on the 24th of, it was 26th of August. God, you do it for me. You did it for me. 3 children I have. You did it for me. I couldn't have that pacemaker. You can do it again for me. There's nothing impossible. If you can give the word for the mountain to move, you can do the word for me to get better. On the 24th of August, he called me. And that time now we are in pandemic. I could see the doctor happy on the screen. How are you doing? I have good news for you. What? Good news from the doctor's office? Do you want to hear your good news? I said, Doctor, yes, I want to hear good news. You have no heart problem. What? What? Oh, sorry, just become so emotional when I start thinking about it. But, whew. Doctor, are you sure? Maybe it's for somebody else. I don't think it's me. So I said, we have done all the tests. And it is you. You do not have any problem. Your heart function is good. It's now on 45%. And all the procedure we wanted to do, and this is on the 24th now. The procedure was supposed to be on the 26th. Wow. Doctor, no, I don't think it's me. He said, no, it's you. The world has changed. I thanked God for that. Even I couldn't believe it's me, but I thanked God about it. I thanked God. I remember after talking to the doctor, I went down, kneeling down, thanking God for the miracle, for the testimony He has given me. And all these things that I've gone through, even though I had that struggle, the devil came in to bring us down in so many ways. But victory, God gives in the end. What a God. What the love He has for Beatrice. I don't need anything else. I don't need anything else. He has done it in a big way. And that's the God we serve. I'm here standing as a walking testimony. God lives. And God provides. God answers prayers. Empty yourself to God. He will do a lot in your life.
Still want 8 children?
Oh, beautiful.